Jyotirgamaya Mrityurmamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Mind can receive easily what I'm speaking, moving from the false to real. But we have to invoke the intellect. What is false reasoning? What is false? Everything that is changing is false. It is the changing claimed as unchanging causes anxiety, duality. So the mind moves to those rooms of its mention that causes the suffering. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, moving from ignorance to wisdom. Two options. I know that I don't know the real self. I know that I know the real self. That is the movement of from ignorance to wisdom. So when I know I am the real self, what happens? Can the mind will ever move to the situational happiness? Answer is no. So then where it is situated? It is situated in the six treasures. Mrityurmamritangamaya, moving from mortality to immortality. How come? From where it comes to my mind that I'm born and I will die? Have I seen I'm born? Will I ever see I'm going to die? It is the fear of unknown. There is no fear of unknown. Huh? The mind has moved to the rooms of the six enemies. Open your eyes. Have you seen the development of a child? Child, the moment that we were born, mom has taken care of our eating, dressing, fixing hairs, and the walking and other activities of our life. As we grow up, the two fold activities begin. Mom started paying less attention to my eating and dressing and fixing hair. I started taking care of it. Means I empowered myself. Similarly, I should empower myself. No anxiety, no stress, no duality, no conflict, no illusion, no false, no ignorance. One is the evolution of the body and the mind together, and other is the rise in awareness of reaching to a point where we can embody the six treasures of our life. That is what masters are talking about, the architecture of inner experience. We even in IT experts, my son was telling me that we have an architect. So the architecture of our inner experience comes from the Eastern wisdom. It leads to awakening. It leads to awakening. So we have been understanding and coming back to the six treasures. So pay attention that you have to remember how we have to move to the six treasures while building a strong foundation. Whether we belong to silent generation, say over 80, whether we are baby boomers or Gen X or younger one, millennials. So what happens? The older generation, we valued the tradition and sacrifice. What about the baby boomers? We questioned the authority. What about Gen X? Who we embrace the independence and adaptability. You see, in every generation, their mind is fixated on a particular action, behavior, and attitude, but all needs the mind, all needs the transformation of the mind. So it means Eastern wisdom is applicable to, to everyone, to everyone, whether you are young or whether you are old or in the millennials. We all need a specific direction of the mind, and that is common. We don't want the six enemies, we want the six treasures. We have a choice. So, what the master is saying about we have a choice, what it means, what comes to the mind and what is not coming. I have a choice. What to allow and what not to allow. Oh, look at this guy is crazy. No, I'm not allowing you to say that guy is crazy. I don't want to get. I'm not interested in situational happiness. No, I'm not interested in you. Are you getting it? I have a choice to allow the mind to move to the six treasures. I have a choice to move the mind to the six enemies. Take another example. I'm unhappy because you are not living with me. You left me. I feel lonely. Or I'm happy because you are living with me and I'm intensely attached with you. Find out what I should allow, what I should not allow. You left me, thank you. You left me for good. I should not I should not fall prey to the loneliness. You are deeply attached to me. I appreciate. But internally, I maintain the discernment and dispassion. What will happen to my sin? Whatever has to happen, it will happen. What will happen? Oh, can you take care of? So the six treasures is nothing but programming the mind. I appreciate you love me. I appreciate to endure if you hate me. Hatred belongs to you. I'm okay living with you. Unless we reach to that point in our mental transformation, then only we can, then only we can awaken to these six stresses. So these are the preliminary steps. But what are these preliminary steps? How to follow it. That's what we have been doing it. That's what we have been doing it. What do you mean? Wisdom circle, we have understood in 11 steps in our daily life. So, one time you remind yourself, recall, mind should recall. Mind should go there to the 11 steps. Am I doing this? No, I have done so much for you and you are just abusing me. Find out which step is applicable here. Which step is applicable? That is why I said the wisdom circle. Clear understanding of the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. Remind yourself, recall what I'm going to say. Clear understanding of the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, teacher, understanding, vasanas of the past impression countered by the value set of the mind. I have to remove that. Why? To have an emotional resilience. Why? The recognition of the knowledge in the mind. Why? To change the behavior and attitude. Why? To change the personality. Why? I live with I think, speak, and act out of my personality in my personal, professional, social life. That is why. Value set, if you remember that. And how to achieve that? Everything is mental and intellectual exercise based on these principles. How you can boost it? You can boost it by satsang. So one definition of the satsang: intellectual understanding. What is that? It leads to detachment. Detachment leads to freedom from delusion. Freedom from delusion to steadiness of the mind. Steadiness of the mind to the six treasures, to the awakening. So that series. But how to apply it? Remember, liberate model. Do you remember the mode and the mood of the mind? These rooms are clearly identified. I'm into anxiety, one room. I'm in calmness, another room. What causes the problem? Mood, mode of the mind. Mode of the mind takes over me. Mood of the mind takes over me. It causes the problem. From where it comes? From the vasanas, from the past impressions, from impulsive nature. Oh, so basically, my mood and the mode of the mind comes from this vasanas or the past impressions. It has nothing to do with me. First point of freedom. The moment you say it is nothing to do with me, I separated these rooms of the mind from me. I find a little greater awareness. And from there, I shift. I was talking, you are in anger and hesitation and reaction, and someone pats on your shoulder and you calm down. Really? This padding has something to do with your mind. So, mind is here. Or you shifted to another room of the mind. Why? Because you record self awareness. In self awareness, you cannot be agitated. So the value set has changed, and the value set has changed. Then it has. So this value changed in the mind can give you an understanding, an idea about these six treasures. The root cause of all the suffering is shifting into other rooms impulsively, habitually. And that is why I told you that we have to never forget doing the Mangala Charan. Pick up any mantra. Om Namah Shivaya will do. Asatoma Satagamaya will do. My existence, you are my father and you are my mother. Why I should worry? At least you are shifting from those rooms of anxiety and duality in the six enemies. Now you see, you have to combine all them. And over on the top of it, it is a discernment and dispassion. Discernment and dispassion, if you don't have it. And over on the top of it, it is listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience, applying the wisdom daily in your life. Oh, I have to apply the wisdom in daily life. I'm lazy. Lazy belongs to one room. That will cause the impulsive nature, whether you are physically lazy, mentally lazy, or emotionally lazy. Never forget to practice that. We are entering into the higher domain of our Eastern wisdom. Now the question comes, do I have to remember so many things? I know you may have this question. Do I have to remember so many things? Did you think of it that I will open my device? Time is going to be 8. I will join. I will click this, then I will join. and then I will see. If I don't see, it means I have not joined. Is there any problem? No, you just do so many activities naturally. How it has come by regular practice. First time you switch on the phone, pretty challenging. Oh, where I have to, how I have to send the message, how I have to call. But now it is so easy. So we have to follow these steps until it becomes an easy affair. Oh, yes, he is not, he is reacting. The mind instantly shifts to the six treasures. He says, okay, you're angry? Yeah, come on, be angry. I'm happy. By regular practice, it is possible. I'm not saying it will come one day. You're trying to reach my house. Do you know the car? Do you remember? Oh, I have to move the steering. I have to move the gear, and then I have to put my leg on the pedal, on the brake. I have to constantly shift. It's quite confusing when to press the pedal, when to press the brake. Do you now think? No. It is accepted by the intellect in that field of the consciousness. That is what the master is saying. It has to be done religiously until we start experiencing a higher level of awareness all the time. Body may be feeling sleepy, but still you are clear. Your mind is clear. Mind is, I will take up that issue. Mind is in the satoguna. Lazy, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and you rise in awareness. You have the tools available. That is why I have taken up these 11 steps in detail. Mind has many rooms. Now come to the main topic. Mind has many rooms. So make it. There are 6 rooms towards the enemy's side: binding desire, greed means the repeat desire, agitation if the desire is not fulfilled, if all these 3 steps leads to delusion. In that delusion, my identity, I identify with those desires which are fulfilled, and I feel a sense of pride and ego. Oh, I'm so rich, and I have all the pleasures and happiness. And that compares with the neighbor. He doesn't have it. Jealousy. I have this guy, he doesn't have it. So now these 6 enemies has over a millions of permutation and combination. Any permutation and combination can block your mind to the 6 treasures. Same thing, we have millions of permutation and combination of these 6 treasures. Sama, mind is 100% available, 6 treasures. Dhamma, Dhamma. Dhamma is you wake up in the morning. Example, you wake up in the morning and you look at the computer and the mind goes back. Oh, Dennis has a beautiful computer. I don't have that one. That is what the senses are under control. Mind, everything is working fine. Why should I have it? Dhamma. That is Dhamma. His wife is beautiful. Her husband is so good. Every wife understands the other's husband is so great. It's so natural. But I have to pick up what mind, where are you going? The third one is the uparati. Mind is 100% available, and then the sense organs is not getting attracted, attached, bound by any object, people, because that sense organ running after any object or a person will cause the binding desire. So first we took up the 100% availability of the mind, calmness and relaxation. Second is the Dhamma. So when we live into that state, we are living with everything and still we are beyond all of them. Everything we take it casually, in a relaxed manner. Third one, that is known as the Uparati. We'll talk about it. Fourth is the endurance. Lot of past impressions are there. Lot of past impressions. Sometime, I have seen the couples, husband is attending, so is attending my session. The husband wants to show to the wife, you see, you are crazy. I'm attending this session. It is happening because of the past impression. You have to endure it. You have not to show it. You have to close the room. You have to practice by yourself. We are following the path of Eastern wisdom for yourself, not for your honey. Impact will be there. So that is one level of endurance, and another level of endurance in the society. And fifth one is the Shraddha, the faith. When you follow all these four, it develops a tremendous faith. Oh, someone said, oh, Dennis said that now I see the Mangalacharan works. What is that statement? That statement says, I have a belief, I have a faith. From where the faith has come? By regular practice, by understanding, by experience. We don't say that you should have a blind faith. And the sixth one, Jerry was saying, Samadhanam, solution. Solution of what? Solution of all your problem. Oh, it means, I desire $1 million. That is a solution. I will get $1 million. No, you'll get $1 million in your mind. For getting $1 million, I have to work. That is totally different. That is totally different. And then you can see and understand, oh, what a great state I'm living in. You had never experienced in the past. You had a glimpse of higher awareness. You have a glimpse of higher awareness, and then we have a tremendous faith that real self is of the nature of pure consciousness, of the nature of peace and happiness. So I'm just giving a blueprint of it, and then we will go into these 6 rooms, and it has millions of permutation and combination. Can you say that the first three, what is the first three? My calmness, withdrawal of the senses, beyond the world of objects, they give you a state of solitude. Many people asked me last year, or perhaps, oh, are you taking that we are indifferent, so we are very sad? No, you are full of the joy inside. Those 6 treasures have already given you a joy. You don't demand anything. You don't expect anything from the world outside. That is the reason of these 6 treasures. Solution. You can pick up the last treasure, the samadhanam, the solution, or the steadiness of the mind, satsang, detachment, freedom from the delusion, freedom from the delusion, steadiness, that steadiness of the mind. So how the mind can be steady? When it is calm, when it lives in higher awareness, when it is not running after anything. We have this definition of a solitude and being alone. It is not loneliness. In loneliness, we are running after the 6 enemies. In being alone, solitude. Oh, what a life that is full of calmness and peace. That is where we are moving by all the steps I have already explained you. Barbara is not there. Barbara noted, last session, noted difficulty with endurance among the 6 treasures. One of the most difficult of the 6 treasures is endurance in overcoming the past impressions. Why shouldn't I cry because my son is suffering? Ah, so you are reducing the suffering by you crying. Is it possible? Had it been possible? And give me three benefits that you are crying for your son. We don't apply the wisdom. So we fall back, prey to the six enemies. Yes, I gave an example of the white coat hypertension. Mind not really reacting to something that is not really there, causing this sort of physiological response. So we have physiological response, we have emotional responses. To get rid of all those, you can reach to that state of the six treasures. Now, summarize it. What is the fundamental concept of the mind according to for the last three sessions? I said mind is a mansion, it has many rooms. The moment you want to go to the restroom, so this is another room. So from your living room, you shift there casually. Same way, casually, you shift your room from room of anxiety to the room of calmness. Think in this way. I can bet you are angry. And if you have a thought, oh, I'm angry room. Let me go to the room of calmness. It will happen. I can bet you. Anyone. It can happen to anyone, except animals. So we have couple of two-legged animals also in our day-to-day. We are not talking of those people. We are not talking. Think of this. Where the coffee is placed in the kitchen, so I go to the kitchen. Where the calmness is placed in one room. You have to think in this way. Why you think in this way? Because thought is the product of knowledge. So what will happen? The knowledge in the intellect will start moving into your mind. And it will ultimately influence the mind. Mind will accept it, and you are there. That is the brief. And then we will go step by step to each six treasures. We have already enough. We already have a good experiences of the six enemies. Not going there. So we will talk in detail about all these six treasures, one after the other. Now is the time to start sharing what we have understood. Anyone can take up. Anyone can take up the stage.
I just completed some physical therapy, about 22 sessions. And so the endurance that it took, to be able to do the exercises really reflects back to and finding, being able to have a change in that, right? And then yesterday being Mother's Day, and then seeing where I need more endurance still with some of my family members and falling into um, difficulty in hearing them complain, for example, and how to um, utilize the endurance to keep coming back and pushing oneself,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I need to change, not them.
Yes, not them. That is the prime thing. I need to change, not them. It is their process of evolution. They are rising on their own speed. I need not to worry. So think in case of the endurance, you mix, if you want an endurance in a different situation, mix. You have to mix and you have to do the permutation and combination of these six treasures. First is calmness. If I speak something, hold on, calmness. So the calmness also supports the endurance. Withdrawal of the senses also supports the endurance. Think of Uparati, the first three factors. If you start with the first three factors, the endurance is natural. I'll not say anything. I will not react. It will happen. But I will not think and I will not react because they are evolving in their own pace. I have to do nothing with it. So the endurance you can experience there. Yes, anyone, go ahead.
सर आपकी पिक्चर
I'll
नहीं आ
go.
रही है.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, David.
सर देयर इज सम इशू इन द पिक्चर नहीं आ रही है सर.
सबको पिक्चर आ रही है. अपना कैमरा ठीक कर लो. Yes, David. Go ahead.
We've got the thing I really like that you said is about there's so many activities in our life that we do naturally, and this Eastern wisdom, this whole practice is a journey that we need to evolve into a routine or a practice that we feel comfortable and is natural. And then the other thing is that, you know, solitude. I was watching something on the news yesterday that a Supreme Court judge had passed away, and they were talking about he's like to spend time at his home in the woods for solitude. And people go to places for solitude, but solitude is sitting right here. Solitude is on the freeway. Solitude is wherever we are. And I think that's something that we miss, and we need to spend more time there. So that was my two little takeaways.
Beautifully. Yes, you rightly pointed out and you made it clear. Solitude is not sitting in the woods, not closing the door and locking it, and then oh, I'm in solitude. No, it will not work. What about your past impression? What about the state of your mind? Your mind is already full of conflict. Wherever you take the brain, the entire garbage goes with you, whether it is in woods or in the sea beach. These principles will work. You rightly said. Yes, Jay, do you want to contribute?
Yes, I feel like the solitude is that satsang. So
Yes, solitude is the satsang, rightly.
So, and that home's always with us wherever we are. So we were in the hospital for a while this weekend, and you know, that's not a place any of us want to be.
Yeah.
But you can bring your pieces with you there, and your calmness. And it's interesting because that awareness, the physical awareness, the mental awareness, and the emotional awareness, because those things come up and we want to understand, and then the mind wants to go forward. What if? And you just have to bring it back and say, well, this is what's now. And we just stay there, and we can deal with what we have right now. And so it's just a beautiful practice. And I love the way that you put it as far as our smartphone or anything else driving. It just takes practice. And the more we practice it, the easier it will get. And then it will become natural. And then we will we'll be here, and we'll all be sharing our wonderful, joyous evolution.
Beautifully said. You know, I learned from you, you know, to teach young Americans physical awareness, emotional awareness. You can add social awareness, intellectual awareness. Christina said, oh, social awareness in a family. Oh, I have to be aware where my emotions are going. So I have to pick up the emotional awareness. Physical awareness. Did I make a big face? No. Let me maintain that state of the calmness. This is what is all about the solitude. Internal solitude. Internal solitude. Penny, what you have started thinking? You're in a solitude?
I don't know if I'm in a solitude, but what grabbed me today was in connection with what we talked about last week. I like the idea of the internal architect, because I've been thinking a lot about the home, so much so that in fact I was trying to put something somewhere that I was dealing with, and I didn't even want it in the home. So I was like, maybe my home has a shed, and this is going in the shed out back, because I don't even want this in my house, right? And so I like that notion of even how we construct our space for our internal solitude, because there's I mean, you know, some of it you don't want to keep, you want to kind of separate the good stuff from the junk. So
Yes,
I'm
yes.
working on that.
You're working on that? Yes. And not only working, but you are thinking, speaking, and acting and expressing yourself in the society, in your profession, in your personal, in your professional, social, and family life. That also helps me to evolve. That also helps me to evolve. Yes, now I remember my son was saying there is a job in IT which is known as a solution architect. Dennis? Solution architect. So inner architect. That leaves that you feel that you are in that state of solitude with the six treasures. That changes the entire journey of life. Yes. Who is going to take over?
Well, I also appreciate the metaphor and analogy of the mansion and the rooms, because I've been thinking about, if the rooms are with the six enemies, my choice is to replace those six enemies with my inner treasures. And in this thinking, I started making the comparison between positive and negative. One of the things in my business, my life is people have always moved towards the negative rather than the positive. And I remember reading an article once about there being a lot more negative words in the dictionary than there are positive. And when I was thinking about this over the weekend, I did a little bit of research and realized that the average person, 50% of an individual's vocabulary is negative. And only 30% is positive, and 20% of the words are neutral. So we have a tendency to go to the negativity, which would bring back to the six enemies. And through this whole thinking, I landed on the fact that if we go through as seekers and we have this awareness and we lean on the knowledge is the gateway to finding the real self.
Beautifully said. So, and we always like to refer to the dictionary to find the meaning. Before that, ask our mind, who wrote this dictionary? That is why we have more negative words there than the positive one. Who wrote it? Who put these words? So they are not aware of these six treasures and the six enemies. Yes, two people left. Yeah, Samir, you want to take up? Yeah. When you talk, when you express, you have to contemplate and think, and that helps you to rise in awareness. Yes.
एक चीज बड़ी बढ़िया हो रही है सर कि मैं एंड्योरेंस को बहुत एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा हूँ अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ में। जैसे
Beautiful.
पहले कोई ये शॉप पे आ रहा है, कोई बात कर रहा है, कोई ऐसी बात कर रहा है जिसमें मैं इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हूँ, तो मेरे को बहुत इरिटेशन होती थी, बहुत मैं क्या मेरे को तंग कर रहा है, बकवास कर रहा है। अब क्या है कि मैं उसको सुन लेता हूँ और उसको रिएक्ट नहीं करता बिल्कुल, और मतलब चुपचाप उसकी सुन लेता हूँ और कहता हूँ ठीक है भाई तेरे को। उसमें क्या होता है कि मेरा जो झगड़ा है या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बहुत कम हो गया है लोगों से, क्योंकि मैं उल्टा नहीं बोल रहा किसी को। सबसे बड़ी बात यह, मैं किसी को इनडायरेक्टली भी उल्टा नहीं बोल रहा सर, मतलब डायरेक्टली तो छोड़ रहे, इनडायरेक्टली भी नहीं बोल रहा।
Beautiful. What he is saying that he has been applying the power of endurance at his shop. He has a wholesale clothing business. So many customer comes and they irritate you, but he is not getting irritated. He is not taking. He is not claiming that it situational unhappiness, situational reaction. So that keeps his mind free. One time you also did against me, and I did not speak to you for a couple of days. And it happened. No, I'm sorry. That is... No, we are not. I'm not talking of those things. I'm just reminding you. Yes, Dennis.
To further extend this idea of rooms in the mind, I think we are often stuck in a particular room of the mind, and we are not even aware that the other rooms exist. So that we just lack awareness, and that's where we need to increase our awareness to discover the other rooms where the 6 treasures are hidden. And the other point you mentioned in the beginning, the choice and the freedom, and we have been mentioning it many times through this session. And we often combine these words like freedom of choice. We use this expression, but the question comes, are we really free when making a choice? Because all my choices are influenced by past karma, by habits, by impulses, and etc. So
That is why.
if every thought and action is conditioned, then the question comes, where is the freedom? And what I think the answer to this question is the more knowledge we have about these conditioning factors, and about the factors that influence our choice, then the more freedom we have to actually choose whether to go with these factors and submit to these factors, or knowing where they lead us to, or do the opposite, follow the knowledge and the right way. So I think the definition of freedom is related to the knowledge most of all. It is more the awareness and the knowledge. That is the real freedom.
Beautifully, you have picked up. Greater the knowledge means that I'm approaching, I'm understanding, I'm moving towards my real self. And the real self is always free. So that knowledge helps me to become aware. This is the room of anxiety and this is the room of the peace. But again, I have to be aware. I have to lift myself. How? 11 practices, wisdom circle, satsang, listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, and practice and experience daily. You all shared in a different way. And I try to put more in a very, with lot of metaphors and examples, and that makes the things clear. I'm upset. We're in the living room. Now you see, pay attention. At the same time, our mind gives you some idea, and then you feel thirsty. You have pick up a glass of water, you are drinking, you are already shifting from the room, but the ego doesn't allow you to shift. How dare he said this? But then we understand our ego caused by the delusion. We understand the delusion that belongs to the 6 enemies, and then we become free. So there are a lot of permutation and combination is required, and it's a demands a regular living into these principles of Eastern wisdom. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed, please. Position and posture. I put into your mind place of the real self or the place of the body. Place of the real self, it is only one. Why? It is all pervading. It is only one position. It is only one posture. Now we can definitely understand this metaphor. and being comfortable. In being comfortable, the very comfort is in the body, and it is a manifestation of the real self. So we are not worried about that I have to adjust and align. Once I'm sitting and I'm sitting, got done. And then being carefree, separate, everything is separate. That is why I created a metaphor of rooms. Mind is a mansion, different rooms. Means these rooms are not me. Whatever the thoughts that are coming is not me, is being carefree. As you see, and I'm just combining these two uh, metaphors. And oh, yes, yes, rooms are not me. Rooms is nothing. Thoughts are not me. Feeling is not me. Yeah, they are all experiences in the mind. They are all different rooms of the mind. Do you feel relieved from all the good, bad, high, low thoughts? You are free in that state. I'm directly moving. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Your mind is already receptive. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. You are choosing the room of happiness. Choosing. You all shared your experiences differently. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Just see that clearly. You have to see that you are already moved into the room of peace. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all, completeness in all. So, mind, wherever are you going, you are wasting your time. I'm not chasing you. Why? Because I'm complete in myself. That is another way to experience that you are in a solitude anywhere, any time, in any situation. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. It means peace is inherent in all of us. Completeness is inherent or natural, and happiness. They all come together. They create a sense of auspiciousness, and that is what we need to experience all the time. Start looking at the breath and start breathing deep, silent, slow. We are doing nyasa. As you inhale, move the mind from the top center of the head into the spine, reaching to the tailbone. But mentally, you are singing. Mentally, you are singing loudly, loudly in your mind. Shanti. You reach to the tailbone, and as you exhale, you sing. Mind rises on the top of the head, deep, silent, slow. And you already know you have to, when I say deep, silent, slow, breathing, you have to start with the belly, then you expand your rib cage. You exhale from the belly and then from the rib cage, deep, silent, slow. Continue with it. We have done a couple of research studies in India with a team when I was there with the federal government. And a lot of research studies, we found that if you are doing this for even 10 minutes of nyasa, you are stimulating peripheral and chemoreceptors attached to the respiratory center of the brain. I just prompted my mind to speak to you about this. So the peripheral receptors helps to increase the oxygen concentration. Chemoreceptors helps you to endure the carbon dioxide concentration in the brain, and that gives you a kind of a freshness. So these two receptors play a vital role. Why? Because you have started breathing deep, silent, and slow, and focus the mind deeper inside on the breath. So that respiratory center is stimulated. That is more or less a scientific explanation. And that will help you to, because we did talk a lot about the solitude, that will also help you to understand the very solitude and its knowledge. Deep, silent, and slow breathing. Om Shanti. Now allow the breath to be normal. Check the flow of the breath. Become aware of the flow of the nostrils from both. And if it is equal, good. If it is not equal, that too is good. Now you drop the Om Shanti under 16 segments of the fingers. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. You are dropping and you feel the sensation. You're also aware the mind is not distracted to something else. If it is, you bring it back and again continue dropping Om Shanti. But I believe so, after doing so many steps, the mind really doesn't distract. That is also the meaning of the sixth treasure. We'll talk in detail. I'll make it very clear to you. So we can also have endurance, as you discussed. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. And now leave this, move the mind inside the heart. Visualize the triangle pointing upward. Move the mind on each side of a triangle, clockwise, anti-clockwise, dropping Shanti. And when it sinks, that is the moment. Push the mind deep inside, singing mentally, as if it is just the opposite. Now Om is pushing the mind deep inside. Mind seemingly stops. Shanti. And then everything, as if everything stops. How to understand everything stops? Mind is merged into the real self. Any mind manifestation, the mind is aware of the world outside of the changing phenomena. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms, know your experiences, and bring the hands down. Yes, Samir, how are you?
Sir, it was very. One thing I want to say, sir, before few years before, I used to think that meditation is not possible while I am doing business. But now the think is completely changed. Now I think if your inner condition is fine and if you are ready from inside, then you can do meditation in any way situation, whether whatever is the situation outside, it is immaterial. Means you can do meditation in any situation.
Yes.
Your mind should say yes to the meditation. That is the only requirement for doing meditation and going into peace.
Yes. And it indicates a transformation of our mind. Meditation is a state, inner state of the mind. And that is how you are dealing with your crazy clients who approach to your shop. You are not affected. So it is not a situational unhappiness. It is the inner state of the happiness that drops the outer conditions. And that is why the meditation is inside. It is independent of any profession, any state, any condition. We can be in the state of meditation in any position of the body. Beautifully said. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good, sir. Thank you. I went into very deep meditation right from the start. And then during the Nyasa, I started feeling this rising energy in my body. And I was like, okay, is this actually happening or is this my mind? And as I did a scan of how I'm feeling, I realized this tightness in the back of my neck. And so I was like, okay, this is my mind. And I went to the rooms of the house and I said, nope. And I slammed the door on the mind and immediately fell into a very deep meditation that actually, when you started chanting at the end, startled me. So thank you.
Beautiful. You have to communicate to your mind in the same way as Stephen communicated. No, I have to be there. In any situation, in every situation. And then see what happens. I'm not saying it will happen. You have to experiment and just check what happens. Beautifully said. How do you, Dennis?
Comfortable and peaceful meditation. The mind was naturally focused inside and didn't really want to move or go anywhere, just enjoyed peace and calmness. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Yeah, very good deep meditation. And at one point I couldn't try to articulate how I was feeling. And I think you said the mind blends with the real self. And then I said, that's what's happened here. I'm just enjoying it. And so it was very peaceful. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. So the entire journey in a highest meditation, what happens? The mind merges. Or you can say the mind is the appearance or is the manifestation of the consciousness. So whatever is the manifestation, there is a movement. Mind becomes unmanifest in the highest meditation. That is how you use the word blending. So it blended. Then what I see the total stillness, total calmness. And that is definitely a deeper state of meditation. How are you, Jerry?
So I'm good. The meditation was deep, calm, peaceful. So I think that the more that we use this, the kind of a play and a fun, whether it takes us a second to, we're settled in satsang, and then when we notice that we're not, does it take a second, a minute, a day? How long does it take? And to bring ourselves right back to what we know and the tools that we have to bring us there, the discernment, all the things we know. And then that's kind of a play and a fun. So we get to play with that. How long does it take us?
The most valuable thing that you take the life as a fun. So if it takes a couple of days to return from the room of anxiety to the peace, then I understand I have to work a little more hard. If it takes a couple of hours, if it takes just a few seconds, it is the higher level of a seeker. So I should recognize that, oh, I'm a seeker of this level. So let me continue. Let me continue the journey. That's another beautiful way to explain it. Thank you. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. I think Jerry mentioned the idea of coming home, and I feel like today the belief that home is within me and I bring that everywhere was set in a stronger way.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. That is why I left counseling from modern psychology. I came here. You start teaching, no problem. Sir, anything to say? Ashok? You don't see me?
सर नमस्ते
Do you see me?
सर मैं हाँ अब दिखाई अब आ रही है पिक्चर बीच में नहीं आ रही थी
What you will get seeing the beard guy? See something that is beautiful. Yeah. Yes.
सर I am in peace and calm.
Very good. Be in peace and happiness. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We'll meet again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste,
Namaste.
everyone.
Oh, could you send the firefly, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.